Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is on a high-stakes visit to the Indian national capital. This is the most high-profile visit from Moscow to India since Russia launched the special military operation in Ukraine. And in the latest, Sergei Lavrov held talks with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The meeting took place at the Prime Minister's office and lasted for more than 40 minutes. Earlier in the day, Lavrov held a bilateral meeting with India's External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar, where he lauded India's neutrality in the Ukraine conflict. And according to Jaishankar's tweet, the two leaders discussed bilateral cooperation and developments in Ukraine, Afghanistan, Iran, the Indo-Pacific, ASEAN, as well as the Indian subcontinent. Later, while addressing the press, the Russian foreign minister talked about India's ties with Russia and the purchase of oil in rupees and rubles.
Well, as regards using ruble and rupee in our financial trade dealings, I would recall that many years ago we started moving in our relations with India, with China, and with many other countries from using dollar and euros to more and more use of national currencies. Under these circumstances, this trend, I believe, will be intensified, which is natural and obvious. I mentioned about oil supplies and supplies of high technology. If India wants to buy anything from us, we are ready to discuss and to reach mutually acceptable forms of cooperation. I cannot even imagine that India is taking some stance because India is under pressure. We respect, as I said earlier, the Indian concentration on its basic principles, namely that Indian foreign policy is built upon legitimate national interests of this country, of this state, and of these people. And that's basically all which I can say in response to your question.
Russia is looking for help to reduce the impact of economic sanctions imposed by the West. So far, India has maintained a neutral stance, refusing to bow down to pressure from the West and join it in sanctioning the Kremlin. India is currently buying Russian oil and has also purchased missile systems from Russia. Taking note of this, the United States and Australia on Thursday, however, criticized India for considering a Russian proposal that would undermine sanctions imposed by the West. Reports suggest that India is weighing a plan to make the rupee-ruble denominated payments an alternative to the SWIFT banking system after the US and the European Union cut off 7 Russian banks from using the cross-border payment system. On Lavrov's visit, however, the US said that every country has a different relation with Russia and they are not seeking to change that. India has so far refrained from taking sides in the ongoing war, asking both sides to resolve the dispute through peaceful dialogue. But its position has triggered intense diplomatic maneuvers from all sides. Let's tell you about them now. Just a day before Lavrov's trip, another visit gains high significance. India hosted the US Deputy National Security Advisor Dileep Singh and the UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. China's Foreign Minister also visited India for the first time since 2019. Now, to discuss this flurry of diplomacy currently ongoing in India, let's talk to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibbal, who joins us now from the Indian capital. Siddhant, thanks for joining us. Let's talk about Lavrov's visit. The timing is crucial. The Russian foreign minister has hailed the relationship with India and even appreciated its neutral stance, especially in the ongoing war. Tell us more about this.
Well, there were 3 focus areas for the Russian foreign minister here in Delhi in the various public statements he made, whether it's with the Indian External Affairs Minister during the start of the talks or whether it was that briefing in Delhi. First, of course, trade rupee-ruble mechanism, that was the focus area. We know that in the past also this mechanism has been used, but he specifically emphasized on use of national currencies instead of dollars or euros. The second, of course, was he lauding the Indian position, saying that that the Indian government has been playing an important role in terms of its neutrality and looking at the situation in its entirety and not one-sided position when it comes to the situation in Ukraine. The third, of course, is lashing out to the West. He slammed the West. He said that the true faces of the Western colleagues are out in front of the world. But the showstopper was here behind me in front of the PMO. I'm right now standing where at the PMO he met the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is a rare opportunity for any foreign minister who's come here in last 15 days. There have been foreign ministerial visits by Mexico, UK, Greece, Austria, whole host of foreign ministers, but none of them got a chance to meet the Indian Prime Minister. He met the Indian Prime Minister. As of now, we are waiting for the readout, but he's obviously going to give out the Russian perspective of the situation in Ukraine.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Let's talk about the timing of this visit. It's obviously followed by the crucial visit by Dalip Singh from the US and Liz Truss from the UK. There's been a flurry of diplomacy with India. And this is all happening while there are reports emerging that Russia is now withdrawing troops from Ukraine. Leaders are going to hold talks again. India has always called for a peaceful resolution through dialogue. Throw some light on this and the role that India will play going forward.
Well, Delhi essentially has become the diplomatic hub with high-level visits. Last 48 hours have been crucial with the visit of the American deputy NSA, who, of course, was someone who didn't minced any words when it comes to the sanctions, getting a kind of loophole with India buying the crude oil. India has already clarified its position, highlighting how Europe continues to buy energy from Russia. The UK Foreign Secretary, who lashed against Russia, but of course that was a visit that if you look at from the UK side was not substantive. She couldn't meet the Indian Prime Minister, and then of course the Russian Foreign Minister. India's role, India has been saying that both sides need to sit together, talk. The Indian Prime Minister has spoken to the Russian President Vladimir Putin 3 times since 24th of February, the day invasion started, with the Ukrainian President Zelensky 2 times focused on direct talks. There was in fact a question as well at the briefing today, the Lavrov presser, in which India's role as a mediator was raised, to which he said that he kind of welcomes it because India has good relationship with countries and it has an independent foreign policy. So India essentially becoming the diplomatic hub in terms of the high-level visits and the opportunity it provides as a neutral ground.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Thanks so much for all those inputs and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.